All right, you guys, this is a serious matter. Pay attention.
It's Danielle J. Martin. Don't forget the J. Here we go. And 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to my channel. For those who are new joining, my name is Danielle J. Martin, and on this channel I am doing 3 things. I want to educate, entertain, and of course empower you to become the better version of yourself. So today we are discussing something that is very serious that many of us are trying to avoid right now. Fear. What is fear? Okay, so many people don't really like talking about fear. Why? Because it's uncomfortable. It's something that we all are feeling. It's something that I think many of us are dealing with even right now. And I just think let's really address the elephant in the room. Let's address it. The question is, why haven't you started? No, seriously, why haven't you? So I really want to talk about this because it's on my heart to address what's going on. I've seen many people, including myself, because I will never get on here and talk about things that I haven't been through. So I'm really just having a moment right now. We're really being transparent. That's the whole goal here. So why haven't you started? Why haven't you started on that dream, on that passion that you have been dreaming about wanting to start? Like, what is keeping you from starting? That's the question. What is keeping you from starting something that you're truly passionate about? What is keeping you? So let's really talk about this because one, let's talk about what fear even means. Fear is really known for false evidence appearing real. So you are mentally imagining something that's not really there. I think we all put ourselves in this box and we limit ourselves. Stop looking at the fear as if like you can't do anything about it. So I really think that honestly, fear is what leads us to excuses. And then excuses limit us to doing what we are really called to do. Whether it's writing that book, starting that YouTube channel, whatever it is, go out and do that. But I think sometimes we get so stuck in our thoughts that it really limits us from becoming great. For example, for many people who have been following my journey, it doesn't make sense, right? So I went from being a full-time weekend anchor on the local TV channel to now I am a TV host for a financial company while also starting my podcast and YouTube channel. Yeah, doesn't make sense. But what's really cool about it is that I have the opportunity to actually create, and I'm passionate about being in this space because look at it. It's super amazing, right? If you watched me last year doing my podcast, I was in my office. And don't get me wrong, I actually enjoy that office that I created because there was a time I was really frustrated with myself because I wanted to create on this level, right? Because I think we all want to create on a specific level, or you want to perform on a specific level, but then you get so stuck on the vision and image that you don't even start at all, right? So for me, I was so fortunate to have a partner say, literally everything you desire is all around you. So just start now, Danielle. And I'm like, but I don't have this and I don't have that. And what I really had to do was change my mindset to think about it differently. So what I did was go out and purchase all the things that I could have in my office at that time. Look at it. This is how I used to produce my podcast. And then going into this new year, I said, I want a new podcast studio. I told myself that. I said, I want a new space. I feel like this is really about to take off. And honestly, I need a new space. Not only that, but I want it to continue elevating myself and pursuing on this excellence that I know that I could produce, right? Again, that small little fear would creep up in my head and try to keep me from, well, you can't do it because you don't have this and you don't have that. And honestly, The things that you don't have, that you think that you don't need everything. You just don't. You just start. You just start. That is it. You just start. When it came to even having this space and producing on this quality level, it honestly amazes me, because this was like, I can't even explain. I cannot even explain, because God is so good. But it was like maybe 2 to 3 months of work where my partner and I, we just put our head down and we said, you know what? We want to create a space that we both know that we can benefit from. And next thing you know, and it's just here. So this is why I wanted to talk about this. Like, the fear that is trying to keep you from doing something that you love, let it go. Honey, let it go, because you know what? It's just a thought, and you have the power to control those thoughts. You have the power to really say, nope, we're not doing that. I can and I will. It's just on my heart to really just encourage you, because I mean, just last year I was here, and now your girl's here. And it's not to flaunt, but it's like, I am proud of myself, because this didn't just come together overnight. This was not no overnight success at all. But the beauty about it all was that we put our head down, we put our hands in it, and we just let God take control. And the most important thing that we did, though, was the work, right? As we're building this studio and we're putting it all together, in the meantime, I'm like back there like, okay, well, I don't want to just get the space and then like have nothing to do in it, right? Because you can have something and then by the time it comes, you're not prepared for it. You have to prepare yourself while whatever it is getting prepared at the same time too. And it's like, how are you preparing yourself? Like right now in this moment, how are you preparing for that new book to come out? How are you preparing for that new business to open? How are you preparing to have that conversation that needs to be had? Preparation is the most prominent thing that you need to create anything. So you have to do the work. And I think sometimes our generation does not glorify the work, because you know why? We see social media and we see this person's doing this and I want to be like that. And don't get me wrong, those thoughts still try to sneak in. And I'm like, hold up. Because you don't know what that story looks like. You don't know how that person got there. Right? You have to be mindful on not getting so caught up in someone else's story, because your story is your story. It doesn't matter how fast someone gets there, because you are always on time. And that brings me to my next point, because I feel like I wrote down all these notes and I'm not even going on them because I'm just speaking from the heart. I just really want to say, like, the time is now, but also understand that for everything there is a new season. In the Bible it says, Ecclesiastes 3:1-8. For everything there is a new season, a time for every activity under heaven. And I believe that as I get older, that is probably the most, I mean, there's many things in the Bible that's true. But I mean, right now, I think I'm starting to really believe and understand that there is a season for everything. Easier said than done, right? It's like, yeah, we hear it all the time, but no, really, there is. Because I promise you, if I tried to create this YouTube channel 6 months ago, I would have not been able to talk to you like this. So understanding that you have to prepare for what you are praying for, because sometimes delay is preparation. And I used to be so frustrated with God, because I used to be like, God, like, where's this blessing? Where's this thing that we've talked about? Like, you and I have had a conversation about this vision, and where is it? But when I tell you that God put me down, like sat me down and said, my child, before you do anything else, you need to know my word. Before you do anything else, you need to understand that there is some character building in you that you need to change before you just go out there and try to be on this platform and think that you are just like almighty. You're not. Come back down. So I just encourage you, don't look at your delayed season as if it's failure or as if it is delayed, because really, like, you're being prepared. God is probably trying to prepare you. But what are you doing in that season? Okay, so next point. Let's see here. Oh, okay, this is another good one. You have to be careful with your words. That is probably another good point that I had to learn in this recent season, that what you speak over your life will come true. So it's like, how are you speaking to yourself in this season? Are you just like, oh, this is not happening and this is not happening? And are you mentally telling yourself all these negative things to where like your life is coming out in a negative outcome? I didn't realize how negative I was. Seriously, talking to myself, it was like I was giving so many encouraging words to other people, but when it came to self-talk to myself, it was like terrible. It's like I had to ask myself, Danielle, you wouldn't even talk to your friends like this. Why are you talking to yourself like this? So, and honestly, Michael had to teach me that. Like the power of words and what you speak over your life, it will come into fruition. That is another thing that God had to work on. He had to work on how careful I was saying words to myself, because he was like, I don't even think like that about you, my child, you know? So the power of words, you have to be careful. So just be mindful that even during the season of where you feel as if it's stagnant and you feel as if you're not seeing any movement, that is the time that you have to talk to yourself the most. Like wake up saying confirmations. I am strong. I am confident. I am worthy. I am going to get to where God is destined for me to be. Like you have to really tell yourself that I am worthy of this. I am valuable. For me, it was also writing the vision down and like seeing it every day. I think also you can lose encouragement by not seeing your vision every single day. We want to be on this hilltop and we want to shine and be there and receive all the success. But then what are we doing to like in your minds? Like how are you preparing your mind for that season? Okay. Another point I have is, this is a good one. You have to plant the seed. Mike Todd has this series about like seed, time, work, harvest. I probably butchered that. But like you have to plant your seed and over time it will grow. And then over more time, you will reap your harvest. And so sometimes I think that we believe like, okay, I'm going to plant this seed. I'm going to make this connection. I'm going to start this podcast. I'm going to start writing this book. And then boom, the followers are coming. It's like, it's not coming. They're not here. So like you really have to give yourself grace and understand that like when you plant the seed, you're not going to reap the harvest in the same season. Like it just never works that way. But I just truly believe that if you plant a seed, you just won't reap it in the same season. Like it's just not meant for that. Like it's just meant for you to plant it, prepare, work, and time will go on. And then you will reap it later, because then you value it more, right? Because if you actually tried to plant a seed in the garden, like let's use an analogy here, okay? And you're watering it, okay? Maybe like days go by, and you try to dig it back up within the same week. Where is it at? Like it hasn't bloomed yet. So you have to like really kind of take that analogy and look at it in a life perspective and understand that when you start working and planting that seed right now, just imagine where you are going to be 6 months from now. Look, I am believing for many things this year, and it starts by starting. Okay, first you got to start. And then it starts with time and consistency and hard work, because I could have easily went home today. Look, I was like, I'm so tired. I worked all day. I had a show today. All these excuses, right? No. If you're passionate about something, you would work at it. It doesn't matter what time it is. And I'm passionate about this. And there's something bigger on the other side. So for me, it's like, it's a requirement. Like God is like, no, like you didn't pray for this just to get here and then like not do anything. Look, we're in here every day producing a video. It's like, we're making it happen, right? That actually leads into my next point. You have to do it even when you don't feel like it. So if you were to lean on your emotions, the amount of time I've leaned on my emotions of when it comes to going to the gym, your girl is not at the gym. I mean, like transparently, like that's just what it is. Like I'm tired, I'm not going. But we're working on that, okay? We are working on character here, all right? Not here to be perceived as perfect at all. So But that's just exactly what it is when it comes to your craft, right? Even when you don't feel like it, even if you're not feeling that spark, if you're not feeling that energy, right? Because that's what we say nowadays, you just still have to do it. And maybe it's just a little bit. Maybe it's taking that time and researching something or studying something else. So don't just take time off, because if you really want something, you don't got time to take off. All right. And that's another thing about this generation. We just think we got all the time in the world, honey. When I say time is of essence, and that used to be a quote, but like really it is. So take it seriously. Take your craft seriously. If you were to be performing on your craft, if you were at the level that you wanted to be, would you be taking time off? No. Okay. And bringing me to my other point that I wanted to say is that when you don't know where to start by studying. Okay. So transparent moment here. Having this idea of wanting to start a podcast, right? I'm like, it's on my heart to do it. I know God led me to it, but I'm like, I don't know where to start. I don't even know what equipment to use. I don't even know, like, even this YouTube channel thing, right? I'm like, okay, never done this. Podcast, YouTube, they think it's like two different things. Like, it just is. So I literally had to study. I literally had to watch other videos, and not just other people doing videos, of course that comes with it, but like studying what it takes to create a YouTube channel in a certain way and being strategic about it, because you can't just start something, expect to have all the knowledge and just go out and do it. No, you have to really understand the strategy, because once you understand the strategy and how to perform in that area, you are more confident about it. Just research and study. Research and study. If you don't know where to start, research and study. That's it on that point. All right. Coming down to a close. Yes. Sometimes you just have to start your vision even when other people don't see it. So I think I recently put a video out about that. And I just think that's very accurate, because I can't even tell you the amount of times I've shared my vision with people and they've kind of just looked at me like, and I'm looking at them like, oh yeah, it's gonna happen. Right? And so it is a little bit discouraging, because you just think like, oh, these are my friends, and these are people who support me. Like, you get it, right? Like, you see it, and they're just like, and I'm like, got it. So I never really got frustrated with them. I was just kind of like expecting maybe a little bit a different response. And it was okay, because you know what? I had to learn, and really God told me that my vision was not for you to share just yet. And so now is the time where he has put me in a position and is going to continue to put me in a position where you will be speaking to thousands and millions of people. And you have to be confident in saying that. So literally, and then Mike Todd comes out with this whole series about kingdom and how we are about to strive in kingdom, and how you have to, and he talks about this whole thing, I'll link it in the description below, but this whole thing about your vision and how you have to be confident and speak it, and like really understand that like you have to speak on it. And you might sound crazy, and that's fine. You guys can think that I'm crazy because I barely have any subscribers on here, so it's fine. But when you come back to this video, you're gonna be like, I remember when that girl was, I told you. Yeah, I told you, sorry. But literally, he has revealed to me that like you will be speaking to thousands among millions of people, and you have to get prepared for that. So before you think you can just walk on that stage and think that you're ready, you need to get prepared now. So that's what this is about. So whatever that vision is, tell your family members, tell your friends, tell the man off the street, tell whoever you think, regardless if they believe you or not, just get it out there. And if they don't believe you, and if they don't give you the response that you're looking for, it's okay. Because I think really you just have to get more comfortable in saying it. I think that's the thing. We are so fearful and afraid to announce our vision. Someone's gonna take it. Someone's gonna go do it better than me. Someone's gonna, go produce better than me. No, because what is for you is for you. Oh my gosh. I just had a whole epiphany right now. What is for you is for you. I can't even stress that enough, you guys. No, seriously, don't look at anyone else. You can study them, as like I do that. I study people that I admire, right? And I can take a little bit and make it into my own. But I would never say I want to be exactly like this person. No, I want to be who God called me to be, and I want to be me. And I hope you want to be you, because you are unique. You are you for a reason. Honestly, everybody's doing what everybody's doing. Right? Like everyone's making a YouTube channel, everybody's making a podcast, everyone's making a Chick-fil-A, McDonald's, Best Buy, Amazon. Like everyone's doing the same thing, but there's always going to be that one person that does it different than someone else. Everyone has different fans. Everyone has different followers. They're going to have 2 different customers. So focus on you, write your book, do that podcast, open up that business, whatever it is, just start. Okay, that's all I had today. I really went off the rails there. It was just on my heart to just be really open with you guys. So I want to close with this, all right? How are you prioritizing your future self? How are you doing it? Are you starting today? Are you starting tomorrow? Whatever it is, just start, okay? I don't care how you do it. I am interested though on whatever it is you were fearful before you watched this video, whatever you were fearful on before, I want to know what it is. I hope that I can encourage you in any way possible. I hope we can become friends, because this is just the start of a beautiful journey together. Do all the fun things, like, subscribe, put your notifications on, and have a blessed day. And that's a wrap.